Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy. And here tonight, tonight. I just thought I'd do a little bit of a sort of update on something you'll see in the name of the title of the video. But yeah, before I get into that subject, I just thought I'd tell off what I've been playing recently. So I've been playing a couple of sort of talk about different types of games, right? I've been playing a game called Brotato. Mainly been playing it with my brothers and that, and it's just believe it or not, a one-button game. It's literally just move and shoot. It's like a twin-stick shooter, but it has auto shoot and stuff on it. And I got to say, it's a fun game. It's much like a roguelike. It's a game where you literally just have to survive 20 waves and each time you level up and you can get new items and buy shit, get different weapons, etc. And it's a very fun game, actually. Believe it or not, it's pretty addictive, and it has a good amount of playable characters and different builds you can do. And the other game I've been playing is the Warhammer Inquisitor Martyr game. And I've got to say, I played it a few years back, and I thought it was pretty good. It's a Diablo style game, so sort of top down, Diablo, classic Baldur's Gate, Dark Alliance style top down game, and it's a lot of fun actually. I'm very into the game at the moment. It feels sort of like, and I'll get to this later what it feels like, but it is a really fun game. I've got 3 different builds going on at the moment. I've got one of each of the 3 characters. There's 5, but 2 of them are DLC. My character's pretty beefy at the moment. I'm dealing some crazy damage. I played, it's funny because I actually played a lot of the other one that was like Diablo Warhammer game, but I can't remember the name of the game off the top of my head. So if anyone knows the game I'm talking about, it was a Warhammer, a bit like Inquisitor, but it was very much like Diablo. I cannot remember the name of the top of my head. It had a picture of like a dwarf with 2 axes on the front. But it was a really fun game, and I put a lot of time into that one as well. But I'm enjoying Inquisitor. I did sort of, I was sort of swapping between playing as my assassin, my psyker, and my sentinel crusader character. At the moment, I'm just sort of focusing on one character, trying to beat it and build him up, because I'm not going to lie to you, I'm not really a big fan of the psyker characters. I wasn't a big fan of Psyker in Darktide either. I just felt like they were just... I mean, in the Warhammer universe, I love the Warhammer universe, especially 40k. I'm probably more in the 40k universe. I used to collect the Warhammer figures back in the day, the tabletop miniatures. I was a Chaos guy. I remember there was a set that you could buy, and it literally had orcs and space marines, and it was I can't remember the name of the set, but it had orcs and space marines. It was kind of like a beginner's set. Warhammer tabletop has changed so much now, like it's crazy. I like looking at them and I like seeing them and stuff like that, and I do follow it somewhat, but I love playing the Warhammer video games, and one of my all-time favourite strategy games was Warhammer Dawn of War Soulstorm. And that was the game that really sort of got me into Warhammer back in the day. I used to sit on the PC upstairs in my parents' room when I was a kid and played that game to death, man. I love that game. It's a shame, really, because I really enjoyed playing the Dawn of War games. I loved the Dark Soulstorm, which was basically using the Dawn of War 1 engine. I played Dawn of War 2, but I never really got into any of the ones that came after it or any of the updates. I know Total Warhammer is the big Warhammer classic universe, but I would have liked to have seen like a Dawn of War using just normal Warhammer universe as well, but using the Dawn of War engine. Maybe there was some mods or something. I'd love to see a Dawn of War come back to console. I mean, Halo managed to do it with Halo Wars, and I thought Halo Wars was amazing. So it can be done. Playing a strategy game with a controller, it can be done. Just play Halo Wars, and it's playable. It isn't the days of the PS1. Trying to play PS1 Command and Conquer. No, you want to play a hard strategy game, try playing that, or I think Warcraft. I think there was a Warcraft game on PC on PS1. I think as well. I think it was Warcraft 2. It might have been Warcraft or Warcraft 1 or 2. Before it was an MMORPG, it was actually a real-time strategy game. But I love real-time strategy games. I need to get back into them. I know Age of Empires is on PC, Xbox Game Pass now. Age of Empires and Age of Empires 2 Remastered. So maybe I'll check them out. I do really want to play Company of Heroes 3 because that was another one I loved as a kid, was Company of Heroes. I never really played any of the expansions or the second game, but I remember playing the first one a lot back in the day. I need to get my laptop sorted back out, and so I can get that back, so I can start playing some of those classic games. Maybe, who knows, because, Sims has had a legacy collection, remasters of Sims 1 and 2, the PC ones. I'm hoping we'll get some remasters on the consoles. But I will be doing a top 5 series I would like to see remastered or not rebooted, but remastered or, ported to modern consoles. So I'll be doing that video soon. But yeah, I'm really enjoying Warhammer Inquisitor. It's a fun game. Very much like Diablo. So if you like top-down sort of action games, RPGs, there is a lot to it. What I like about it is it reminds me a bit of Dawn of War because it's got multiple factions, whereas it seems like over the last few years with these Warhammer games we've been getting on console, Dark Tide, Vermintide, etc., and all of those, it just seems like, and Space Marine, for example, it just seems like it just focuses on one faction or two. You play as one and the enemy is the other one. Like in Space Marine, it was you and orcs were the enemies, and then Space Marine and Tyranids, and then Chaos in multiplayer. And it kind of sucked, because I loved Dawn of War because you could play as all the different races, and just it was each race had a different strategy, and it was really fun. So I like Inquisitor because it has multiple enemies as well. So you're not just fighting, chaos. You've got I think there's Chaos, Rebel Guardsmen, which are the Chaos versions of the Rebel Imperial Guard, Eldar, Dark Eldar. There's all 4 versions of Chaos. So you've got Nurgle. I think you've got Nurgle, Khorne, and then there's just basic Chaos as well. I don't think Slanesh or the other one, I forget what it's called, the one with the Egyptian god style one, Tzinkel, I can't remember what it's called. I don't think they're in the game, but it was still pretty cool to see, and you fight in different enemy types and Tyranids as well. So I love that, I love that. Why just have one type of enemy race? In a game like in games like Warhammer, use the different races. You don't just need to focus on one, right? But yeah, so anyway, moving on to my main thing is, how am I liking WWE on Netflix? I'm not gonna lie. I have a couple of pros and a couple of things that I like, and a couple of things that I don't like. One of the things that I do like is being able to watch wrestling on a weekly basis again. I don't watch it live because in the UK it's still on at relatively late, normally around about 12, 1 o'clock, and I don't fancy staying up till 3, 4 o'clock every morning, so I can just watch it the next day. And that's how I did it growing up, was watching it on like Sky TV, and then recording it and that, and obviously now I don't have to worry about having to pay for a cable TV package or get Sky Sports or BT Sports and crazy stuff like that. I can just watch it on Netflix, you know, and I do like that. I'm not going to lie, I also, believe it or not, I'm actually enjoying it. Um, there have been a couple of things that I sort of think, oh, that's a bit stupid, but I suppose that just comes with wrestling in general. But I'm not one of these people who sits there and complains and moans and stuff. Just enjoy the show. If you don't like it, don't watch it, yeah? I just like wrestling for wrestling, yeah? I don't need to get so invested in all the backstage drama, just watching people beat the shit out of each other. What more do you want? But yeah, I do like that. I think it's a little bit more stable than the WWE Network was, but most of the time WWE Network was pretty stable. But I'm enjoying watching it on the weekly basis. I watched Royal Rumble live the other week. So I had no problem watching that live. I thought I was a bit worried that it was going to be a bit shitty, but it worked fine. I managed to watch the whole show. Another thing I do like about it is that it's not scripted, but it's not scripted times. It seems like there's a good variety between it being a 2-hour show, 3-hour show, 2.5 hour, 1 hour, 1.5 hour. And I do like that, you know. I like being able to get a bit of different things, because sometimes it's nice to have a shorter episode so you can go, oh, I enjoyed that and I can watch something else now. But yeah, I'm enjoying that as well. And of course, another bonus is that I don't have to pay 2 separate subscriptions anymore to watch wrestling. Now, there are a couple of things I'm not overly keen on. I'm not really a big fan of the layout. How Netflix have done the layout. It's kind of really hard to find some of the stuff. And they have a WWE section, but it's kind of convoluted, you know. What I liked about WWE Network is you could literally have each pay-per-view, each show, etc., etc., all there, and then you would just watch, do it like that. Whereas on Netflix, it seems like you've got to get lucky. It don't all show up on the WWE page, which is kind of annoying. And again, another thing that sort of pisses me off is that you just sometimes have to keep searching for it if you want a specific thing, and it doesn't really always do a good job of actually telling you what stuff's coming and what stuff has been added as well, I've noticed. So I'm also, again, I'm a little bit disappointed we lost a lot of stuff. No WCW, no ECW. I am not going to lie, I never really watched it. But I always enjoyed the fact that I could watch it if I wanted to. And now it's been taken from me, it's kind of like, that kind of pisses me off a little bit. And now obviously they're adding stuff, you know, each month and stuff. So I will give Netflix their credits, and that they are adding stuff slowly. And one thing that really surprised me is Evolve is coming to Tubi. And I've noticed that since the move to Netflix. It seems that they're doing a lot of other shows that aren't just exclusive to Netflix. Now, obviously, in America, WWE Raw is the only thing that's on Netflix. SmackDown, NXT, and all the other stuff are on different networks and things. Whereas in the UK, we still get the weekly shows on Netflix. So, you know, that makes sense. But I did see that Evolve was coming to Tubi, and I seen some people making some stupid comments like, haha, blah, why is it going to a free thing? And I'm thinking, well, why are you complaining? I mean, Evolve used to be on WWE Network many, many years ago. Then they took it off. Then they added a few episodes back. Now they're bringing it back to Tubi, and you can watch it for free. Why are you complaining? And Evolve was I think, a development program for WWE before, like, NXT and Proving Grounds and all of those things come out. Yeah. I'm kind of on the fence. There's some things that I like and some things that I dislike. I will say, on the technical side, I have noticed there's been a couple of episodes where it's been a bit shitty. Like, a couple of weeks back, I was at someone else's place and I was watching it on their TV and it was all thinking. I thought, was it their TV? But then I kept switching it over to other things on Netflix and it was fine. And then when I watched it on my phone, it was still jittery and still like the quality was dipped. But then the next week, the episode was better. And there was an episode, I think, last week where it kept like cutting in and out, and it was really glitchy. But I think that was something to do with the actual WWE, not Netflix. So I don't know. I think there's a bit of fault on both ends. But it's crazy because it feels like, even though I don't feel like it, but it feels like, many years ago, man. I'm watching fucking wrestling on a weekly basis. I'm playing a Warhammer game. But it isn't, man. I just sort of want to say, I've not really been doing many videos lately, and obviously, as you can see, I'm in my PJs as it's a bit later than what I would normally do videos. But I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm not really in the greatest of place at the moment. I've just got so much shit going on, so much shit internally, mentally, and just life in general at the moment is just pretty hard. I'm not sitting here and saying I'm the most, I'm on edge and stuff like that, and I've got nothing to live for. I'm not saying those things. But I'm just in that position at the moment where I've just got so much shit going on and it's hard to try and focus. And maybe I'm going downhill a little bit, but, it happened, you take yourself down, pick yourself back up again sometimes. So who knows? Hopefully things might start to get a bit better. But at the moment, things are a little bit on the tougher side for me personally. And anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Let me know in the comments below, what is your favourite Warhammer and Warhammer 40k race? I've always been a Chaos guy, just hands down. But actually, I've always enjoyed the Warhammer factions because each of them, Warhammer's just so big, man. The lore is crazy. This is like Star Wars level lore, maybe even more in depth than Star Wars, if you believe that. It's just a shame that we don't get to see it in the mainstream media as much. Space Marine 2 was like the only game from Warhammer over the past like couple of years that people knew about this game. People that weren't Warhammer fans were like, oh, I want to play Space Marine 2, it looks pretty sick. My brothers were on about it. They never really got into Warhammer. And, so I think we need to, maybe see Warhammer come back in the mainstream universe, Come on, Dawn of War for consoles. Come on. We need it. Dawn of War 3 on console. Dawn of War 4. I did see there might be a Total Star Wars game coming. A Total War Star Wars game coming out. If that's coming out, maybe I need to invest in the PC, because I've always wanted to play the Total War games, but I never really got around to playing them. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Like I said, comment below your favourite Warhammer faction. What faction? Do you collect it, or do you just follow it? And what faction do you are you your favourite, I guess? But I'm going to chill out now. I'm going to watch a bit more YouTube tonight. I've been watching a bit of it, hearing different things over the last couple of days. I've nearly pretty much all caught up with South Park now. Still really good. I love South Park. I still think the new episodes are great. The specials were really fun. South Park, in my opinion, were like the only show that sort of kept in tune with the world right now and keeps in tune. And it is offensive, but it's just, I love South Park. Been watching a few other things here and there, but I'm having a bit of chill one, watching some YouTube right now, trying to catch up with some people. And as always, guys, subscribe if you haven't already and join the family. And anyway, guys, I'll leave it there. I will let you know when I'll be back, because I have got a couple of videos that I have got some plans for. And as always, have a nice time. Bye-bye.